Good morning, ITA. Hello again. My name is Mackenzi. I'm from Denver, Colorado, and I am living in Nakhon Si Thammarat, Thailand. So, welcome to my takeover. I'm very stoked because I did one 5 years ago, and that one actually got a lot of people to Nakhon Si Thammarat, which is fun. So I love sharing my experience and stories. So since it's it's about to be 7 a.m. I am working at 7:30 to about 3-ish, and I will take you around the school. But first, starting off with a little apartment tour, I will flip the camera, show you my view. I am a big fan of balconies, so I like the nature in front of it. And yeah, and then I'll just start off by telling you a little bit about myself while I have some traditional Thai breakfast. So this is the view from my 3rd floor condo. I love all the greenery. I'll probably come back when it's sunnier and you can really see it. There's a pool over there. The gym is there. You can see the kickboxing thing, and then I'll just go in reverse. So coming from the balcony into the living space, have my couch. It's actually really comfy. There's a TV behind there, but I have my yoga mat and I kind of meditate here. Mirror, my altar's covered. Bedroom, I have a 1-bedroom this time. Last time I had a studio, and then I actually had a 2-bedroom, but I moved away for a little bit and then I came back. So I'll show you the bathroom. It's a nice little bathroom. Dink. Shower. This is a thing in Thailand, the hot water heater to have hot water in your showers. This is what I was talking about, traditional Thai breakfast. I usually start my day with fruit. This watermelon is incredible. Mango, cucumber, just to start the day. I sit here and chill, and then I'm going to answer some questions from ITA and set you up. Hello. So yes, I will eat my fruit. Another traditional Thai breakfast is khao tom, which is a rice porridge soup. And then I've started making overnight oats here. For some reason, I didn't do it before, and I absolutely love it. Yeah, and kitchens in Thailand, some places have stovetops. Lots of little condos don't. The 2-bedroom that I was in before had a stovetop, and then other places I've just bought a little eye to cook on, but you don't cook that much here. I do sometimes just to meal prep because I like meal prepping and having stuff ready to go, overnight oats and everything, so I can throw it in my backpack and go to work. But yeah, khao tom is a rice porridge. It's wonderful. And the fruit is just incredible here. This is a small percentage of the fruit. So start now. Oh, what ITA course did I take? I actually did the one online back in 2019. So I'll answer a couple more before I take you downstairs to see my motorcycle, and then I'll tell you about driving a motorcycle here. But yes, I did the ITA online course in 2019. I think I did it late January 2019, and I moved abroad in October 2019. So the process was really awesome. And I took some time in between. I did the practicum and everything. I decided on Thailand because I had lived in China for a little bit, just visiting, not working, and visited Thailand and fell in love with it and was just this is the best place. So it's I really would love to move to Thailand one day. Got the opportunity through TEFL and ITA and been here ever since. However, I did go home for a little bit. So I was here from 2019 until 2023. So I did 4 years through COVID, which was really something. So yeah, I was very, very grateful for my experience with COVID in a small town in Thailand. NST is small. It's down south, hours from Bangkok. So it was a good place to kind of hunker down with the world going awry. But yeah, I stayed here, went back home in October of 2023, check on my mom, regroup, do home things. And I intended to go somewhere else, but with the world the way it was, I was you know what, I'm just gonna come back here to NST. I'm at the same school. This is actually the same condo, not the same apartment, but the same condominium. So I like it. Yeah, and then let's go downstairs for, I'm gonna put the ask me anything. So I'm not just answering random questions, you can actually ask me. So, okay, bye. So this is the entrance to my condo. You have to scan in. That's to the car park. It's so weird being in widescreen. And then we have a little coffee machine, a little tea and coffee place in here. See, I'll show you. It's pretty cute. This is the actual condo. Yeah, that's building A, and then now I'm in building B. So it looks like, see, like I was saying, the sun. So you get a little bit, and then I will show you my motorcycle in a second. This is my motorcycle. It changed because again I left and I had to sell my other one. I forgot to mention I came back in October of this year. I'm always on October schedule. And yeah, all the motorcycles. I am about to go get one of the little coffees, not for me, but for my Thai teacher. And I'll be back. Hello. So this is my school. This is a swimming pool because we have swimming class. I'm walking over to the dome, which is assembly, first of all, to scan in. That's what I'm doing. This is my school. This is the flagpole and the dome where there's some students. Good morning. Good morning. Where we have our assembly now is underneath the dome. And I'll take you in there when we start assembly. But yeah, this is the school. It's very cute. Very cute. It's the kindergarten of Si Thammarat Suksa. Adorable.
ขอยินดีต้อนรับทุกท่านนะคะสู่กิจกรรมงานมุทิตาจิตของแผนกปฐมวัยนะคะ
If you want to meet some of my students, here they are. Here my little guys. Then my ladies are in there. It's only a handful of them because it's still pretty early. So they show up during assembly. I teach 3 and 4-year-olds. They're hello Mingwei, hello Gamblu. They're very cute. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, they're adorable. Love them. Friday, slap your arms. Friday, slap your arms. Friday, slap your arms. That's how we dance on Friday. How do we dance on Saturday? Hello. So I thought that I would be able to record a lot more today, but it was very busy. It's the second to last day. Well, really the last full day, and then tomorrow is a show. We have like a little end of year show. So I'm going to answer all of like the straightforward questions here in my classroom. As you can see, Thailand, all the binders and things, all the teacher flashcards and such things. So I'll answer these and then I'll go to the park and answer more in depth. So yes, Thailand requires a FBI background check for your visa. So the documents you need for your visa, FBI background check, scan of your university degree, transcript. You have to have like full transcript, a passport photo, the photo page, and then like a passport photo. Additional teaching qualifications, and so my school said police background check, but then saw that it actually needed to be the FBI one because for Thailand you can do an e-visa online, and they need all of that info and you upload it and then you're approved pretty quickly. So yes. In Thailand, in bigger cities, you can easily get by on just English. I'm not fluent in Thai, but I do speak some Thai. I can understand a little bit more just because this is a small town. They're like small relatively, but yeah, they're like almost 1 million people here, but a small area and only like 1,000, 2,000 maybe foreigners. And I still think that's an exaggeration. Like I looked it up and I still think that's way bigger. I know like 60. I know 60 are like floating around in the city. So yes, you can get by on English, but it is just a good idea to make the effort to learn the native language or the language like spoken in the place where you're going. So Thailand, you will pick up stuff. The first vocab that I picked up was food because it's awesome. So this feeds into this other question. There are not a lot. There really are not. Like I said, I looked it up, and Nakhon Si Thammarat is relatively small. The 1 million people that live here in like rural areas. We're nestled between like the city is in between like the coast and then mountains going up to like Kiriwong and Lansaka. So the majority of the population like live out in rural areas, and then you have the city, which is really in between these like 2 long roads, and a handful of foreigners, like because they're only 5 schools, like big schools that employ foreigners. And so like I said, I know like 70, 80, maybe 100 plus exist in the town. The pollution is okay. We are in a nice area where we might see it over the mountains, but it's not terrible. The climate, hot, tropical, monsoon. I will also address the cold. It doesn't it can get cold, but nowhere near Colorado cold or Midwest cold, any actually cold place. You'll feel a lower temperature in the morning, like first thing in the morning during rainy season. When it's raining, it's just kind of damp because the humidity is like 99% here. So that's when it's cold. And then other times when you're like driving your motorcycle uncovered, just like barreling down the highway, then you're getting the air and then it's freezing. I learned that early on, in my driving motorcycle career, to have a jacket, and then we even have rain pants. And sometimes if I'm in like something short, like, shorts during the day, and then I'm out till evening and I'm like, I'm going to put on my rain pants to drive a long distance because the air will just get cold. So that is when it's cold, pretty much. I found my school through ITA. They had a list of preferred recruiters and schools, and I went down it and, applied to the ones that looked nice. I mean, it was really just like listed. I knew I didn't want to be in a big city. I wanted to be in a smaller town, so I applied to some of the smaller town ones, and I found here, and then everything just worked out. Like, did the application process, interview via Skype and everything, and then came here, like moved with a job, like secured it before getting here. But yeah, that's how I found my school. So this is pretty standard in like parks and markets, that they just have paint things, fried chicken, because Thailand does great fried chicken, and then fruit. And that's what I was talking about this morning. There's like a small portion of all of the amazing fruit in Thailand. You have wax apple and pineapple, watermelon, everything. Sawadika, ponlamai, mak. There's a lot of fruit. So yeah, I wanted to share it. This is where I am sitting to answer the rest of the questions. This little pagoda in the park. It's my favorite part, Thailand Park. Somebody posted right up here. I will say that one of the biggest culture shocks was, of course, driving. One, because they drive on the other side of the road. So you can see that. You do left turns are free. And just getting used to a motorcycle. I know I usually get a bunch of questions about driving them. This is mine, this is the automatic, and then this is my friend's, whose is a manual, and it's fancy. But the culture shock of just getting used to the rules of the road, which in my first takeover, I said there really are no rules. The rule is there are no rules, but you just really have to be aware and cautious, but it is exhilarating and fun. A way that I've overcome homesickness is really just reaching out and talking to people. Sometimes it just hits you and you're just sad and you cry and eat food or watch movies or something. But really just reaching out to my friends and family back home. Like I said, I went home for a little bit just to check on everything and then came back. And Marco Polo is a great app. It does like video messages, and they can be as long as you want, and then they have like little fun effects. But I do that with one of my close friends, and we stay up to date with everything. So Marco Polo, FaceTime, just still holding on to your community. And then speaking of community and like leaning into people, I actually have a person here. It's Alan!
Hello. Hi everyone.
Yay! So a fellow ITA alumni, and yeah, the homie. So it is really nice to find people and make community here. I'll go more into depth. So sometimes making friends takes a second. I was decently solo the first few months here, even year, just kind of feeling out my own kind of groove. But then I connected with ITA alumni, in like a messaging group or just on Instagram, and he was in Bangkok. And then I flew up to Bangkok and we hung out and then we just hit it off and then we were buddies forever. And then he was in Samui and I went and visited in like 2021 and just became friends and kind of created a little community. And then he came to NSD.
Yay.
So yeah.
Love it here. Another way to make community is to get out of your comfort zone and explore more of your town, your country, your city, and just practice the language, and you will have an overwhelming response of people trying to help you as well.
It's true. Another way that I've helped like kind of create a community around myself here is offering classes. I teach a yoga class and sound bath. I offer spaces for restoration and grounding. And then like Alan was saying, going out into the community and chit-chatting with locals and everything and actually being part of the city that you live in. I've had opportunities to dance and perform with musicians here in NST, DJs, musicians, and that has been amazing. So it really does just kind of come, patience, and just knowing that, you know, you're enjoying yourself while you're here. Thank you all for hanging out with me today. Really love doing the takeover. If you have any additional questions, feel free to message me. I will leave. I'm pointing there, so I'm going to put my IG handle there. I really have had a great time. Really grateful to ITA for starting this journey. I started in 2019. Been in this city for 4 years. Went home and then came back. So I very clearly enjoy it and like the life that I've chosen to live. So yeah, if you have any other questions, feel free to hit me up. Have a great day. Bye.